Okay, continue with our select statement from a single table. This time let's take a look at how to limit the number of rows. So I'm going to just take this out. And so we have this and I have ode. Okay, so we have this result set with 4 fields, and you can see it's returning 114 rows. So how do we limit the number of rows that we want to see? One way is to, well, we're going to use the where clause to limit the number of rows. One way is to use operators. So we have comparison operators. So different than arithmetic operators. In this case, think of like in an if statement, we were comparing values to see if they're equal or not equal, they're less than, greater than. Same thing, we can do less than, greater than, less than or equal to, greater than or equal to. There's actually 2 styles of not equal, so kind of the old VB style and the C++ style, not equal to. So we can use these operators in the where clause. So we can either compare 2 field values, or we can compare a field value to a hard-coded value, so or a literal value. So if we want to say invoice total is less than $20. So you can see it only returns records or rows with invoice total less than $20. So we still need the select, we still need the from. These 2 are required clauses of the select statement. Where is optional, and it limits the number of rows or records. One other thing is this semicolon. The semicolon is not necessarily a required part of an SQL statement outside of MySQL Workbench. It's just nice in MySQL Workbench if you have multiple queries that you're running. You can have all those multiple queries plugged in to the SQL editor here and separated with the semicolon. So if you're running like, you know, a PHP page or ASP.NET program against a MySQL database, you wouldn't need to put this semicolon into the query, but you should inside of MySQL Workbench. Okay, sorry for the tangent there. Okay, so we're limiting the number of rows, so we could also say all those greater than 20. So there we have all of the values. And let's use a different table just for fun. So let's say select star from ap.vendors. So here's our vendors table, and in there is vendor state. So we can say where vendor state is equal to, Wisconsin. I'm just picking the first one there. Or how about Indiana? I think there were multiple records for Indiana. Oh, no. Where vendor state is equal to DC. So you can see it returned 3 records. So instead of all of the records from the table, which there are 122 records, with this statement we only return 3. Okay, how about if we want everything that's not equal to, we just plug in that. And now you can see we have 119 rows. Makes sense, right? So we have 122 minus the 3 that were equal to DC. If I plugged in California, 47. If I said we're equal to California, it's 75. So it makes sense. 47 and 75. Total's 122. We can also put not equal to, like that. Both of them work. They're interchangeable. Oh, and I forgot to put the equal sign up here. So it's equal. That's the one operator that's different than using like C# or something, because it's a single equal sign, which doesn't equate to an assignment operator in the where clause. Instead, it uses that single equal sign as a condition. Okay, another way that we can specify a where clause is the keyword in, between, and not between. So in is nice because it allows us to specify a list of values to check against. So this is almost like the switch statement. So we've said where vendor state, that's the field that we want to check. In, and then we have in parentheses a comma separated list of values. Another thing that we could do, I'm going to go back to invoices. Another thing that we do is use between. So I'm going to say invoice total between, and here's the syntax, it's between the first value. So I'm going to say, let's say 100 and 200. And it is inclusive, so you can see, again, here's the syntax, the where specifying the where clause, the name of the table, between, the starting value, the keyword and the end value. Now notice I put $144.77, or I'm sorry, 70 cents, and it included that value, so it is an inclusive. It is inclusive, so it included that first value. So it's like a is equal to or greater than 144.7. Okay, and then also we can say not between. The syntax is the same, just that keyword not. And that's going to give us any values that fall outside of that range. So if we wanted 144.7, we could go one value above it, so one decimal above it. So another way to specify the where clause is like, and like allows us to create a pattern using, we have two special characters to use in our like clause, percent sign and underscore. So if we said where invoice of total, let me go back now to vendors. And let's say we want to find anything that has the word national in it. We'll just say we want anything with nat in it. Looks like there was an abbreviated nat. So we can say where, and in parentheses create this pattern. So the two characters we have to work with is percent sign, and that can be 0 or more characters. So any characters could be 0 or more characters. And then underscore is one single character, exactly one character, but it could be any character you want. So we could say where vendor name is like, and just the keyword like there, percent net percent. And you can see it's going to return both of those values that we saw. So national and net both show up. Let's say we wanted to find every address that started with a PO box. So we could say PO box %. So we can say where vendor address 1 is like PO box %. So now it's going to look at the beginning for these characters, PO space, in this case sensitive, BOX, and then 0 more characters, could be anything. So in this case it was a space followed by 96621. In this case it was a space followed by 31. So it matched just up to this point, PO box, and then this % matched everything else. So if we wanted all PO boxes with a 4-digit number, we could do that by saying space underscore 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 underscore. So 4 underscores, and now we'll return any value with PO box space and then 4 characters. It could be any characters. We could do that with the zip code. So say we're looking for a zip code that starts with 93. We can say 93 %. And now it gets all zip codes that start with 93. We do the same thing with vendor phone. The name, any value that we want. So I just wanted to show you a few things with the where clause. There's one additional thing using regular expressions. I encourage you to try those out. I'm not going to require you to go over those. There might be a quiz question or something on it, but no code to write for that. So I'm going to skip over that.